Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma. Bandhamoi Sarvadana Mati Jahara Prasade Bai E Bhavatoriya Jai. Krishna Prapti Hoya Hoiti Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Koriya Kya. Arna kori ho mane asa Arna kori ho mane asa Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttama Gati. Jai Prasadi Pure Sarva Asa. Jai Prasade Pure Sarva Asa. Chakudan dilo de janme janme Prabhu se. Chakudan dilo de janme janme Prabhu se. Devagan Hide Prokasito Devagan Hide Prokasito Prema Bhaktiya Hoite Abhidya Vinasayate Prema Bhaktiya Hoite Abhidya Vinasayate Vedegaya Haracharito Vedegaya Haracharito Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adamajanara Bandhu Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adamajanara Bandhu Lokanath Lokera Jivana Lokanath Lokera Jivana Ha ha Prabhu Koro Doya Teho More Pada Chaya Ebe ase kuse tripuvana Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Jaya Guru Deva Guru Deva Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatyadesh Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Kora Bhakta Bringa Krishna Chaitanya Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Kora Bhakta Bringa Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadada Shivasadi Kora Bhakta Bringa Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Radha, Radhanath Radha, Radhanath Radhe. Jaya Radha, Radhanath Radha, Radhanath Radhe. Jaya Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Jaya Radhe Shyam. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Nittai Gora Haribo, 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 Nittai Gora Haribo. Nittai Gora Haribo, 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 Nittai Gora Haribo. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jam Vishnupad Paramamsa Paragvaracharya Asura Shishimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Namacharya Shilari Das Thakur Ki Prem Sako Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Shri Shri Radha Radhanath Ki Samaveda Bhaktivinda Ki Tulsi Maharani Ki, Bhakti Devi Ki, Go Premanande Hari Hari Bo, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to today's Sunday Love Feast program. Welcome also to anyone who may be here joining us today for the first time. It's always lovely to have new people with us. Also a special welcome to all those who are watching our program on our online platforms. So devotees, today, the 12th of May, a special day, Mother's Day. And we mark this moment by wishing all our mothers a blessed and blissful Mother's Day. And thank you for showering the love that you do upon us. And thank you for being there for us. Thank you for your blessings. Today we also meditate upon our eternal mothers, like Mother Sita, Mother Devaki, Mother Yashoda. And may Mother Yashoda be merciful upon us so that we can continue on our path of devotion to Krishna. So devotees, the next part of our program is our class. And for this specifically, we humbly ask you to please turn off your cell phones or have them on silent mode. So our speaker for today is Her Grace Radha Sundari Devi Dasi. So a big welcome to Mataji and her Prabhu, Ananta Tirtha Prabhu and the family. Mataji's topic for today is Vedic Samskaras in the Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Vedic Samskaras as delineated by Gopal Bhattas Goswami, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Srila Prabhupada. So let's share a little bit about Mataji. Mataji was raised in the New Vrindavan community in the US, and Mataji has benefited from the association of the many great souls who reside there. She has assisted His Holiness Bhakticharu Swami Maharaj in managing various projects across the globe. She has served as temple co-president and teaches courses on Vedic Samskaras and Vaishnava etiquette. She assists His Holiness Radhanath Swami's international office, and she serves as the GBC Executive Secretary. So we're fortunate to have Mataji share her knowledge with us today, and we welcome Her Grace Radha Sundari Devi Dasi. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We'll sing Jaya Radha Madhava. Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana, Jamuna Tira Vanachari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana, Jamuna Tira Vanachari, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai Shri Shri Radha Radhanath ki Jai, Sriman Mahaprabhu ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki Jai, Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Om Jnanati Mirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Vanchakalpatrabhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Bhavnebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, and welcome everyone. You all are, of course, residents and friends of Shri Shri Radha Radhanath. I'm just a guest, but still I'll take the opportunity to welcome all of you. I'm very grateful to be here with all of you today. I'm just going to lower this a bit. Okay. So today, as Prabhu mentioned, we will be discussing Vedic Samskaras. In Mayapur, we have a school called Mayapur Academy, where we have a course on Vedic Samskaras. In the 1970s, when Srila Prabhupada first acquired the land in Mayapur, a few years later, when the devotees were just residing in a small straw hut, Srila Prabhupada looked out at the fields and he said to our head pujari, Jananivas Prabhu, that one day here we will have an institution, a university for Brahminical training. And Srila Prabhupada delineated the different subject matters that would be taught. And we were very blessed that about 16 years ago, we were able to, along with Jananivas Prabhu and other Vaishnavas, work on manifesting that desire of Srila Prabhupada. And now we have such an institution in Sridham Mayapur, where we have courses on different subjects such as deity worship, Brahminical culture, ethics, cooking, dressing, Tulsi worship, and one of those courses is Vedic Samskaras. So it's a 3-week course. We have about 53 minutes. So we'll do our best to give a little introduction to you of this subject, which I hope will inspire you. Because I've seen for myself, we have seen as a family the tremendous benefit we've received from this knowledge that has been given to us by senior Vaishnavas, and we're really grateful to be able to share that with others with the hope that it will also inspire and benefit you. So my first question is, when you see this topic, Introduction to Vedic Samskaras, what comes to your mind? What do you think we'll be talking about today? When you hear this word Samskaras, what does that mean to you? Anyone? How would you define that? Does anything come to your mind? Yes. Yes, that's absolutely right. So exactly what you said. Different rites that are performed. In English, there's a term for this. The term is rite of passage. Rite of passage. And essentially, it's a ceremony that indicates when you're transitioning from one point in life to another. It may be, as you said, when a baby is born, or marriage, different things like that. And what's interesting about these rites of passage is that they're not specific to any one tradition. Any country, any nationality, any religion, any culture, any civilization you find, no matter how modern or ancient, rites of passage are an intrinsic part of it. It's simply human nature that we want to mark these transitions in our life. They exist everywhere. In fact, last year, our son, I was telling Tirumala, our son is a traveler, and sometimes he likes to take us to far-off places. So do you see the little red dots in the middle of the globe there, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean? So last year he took us there, and that is a place called Vanuatu. So whenever we go to a new place, because we are fascinated by the samskars that Srila Prabhupada and our acharyas have given us, we like to ask the local people, what are your traditions? So they told us that they have a tradition which is called land diving. That is their main samskar. We've been traveling around southern Africa a bit, and everywhere we go practically, there are all these signs for bungee jumping. Have you heard of that? When people tie this elastic rope on their feet and jump off of a bridge. So the precursor to bungee jumping was land diving, which started in Vanuatu. So young man, when a young boy, let's say, when he comes to an age where he's ready to take responsibility and be recognized as a man, he goes out into the forest and he finds a vine, and they say the vine calls to you. The spirit of the vine calls to you, and you know this is your vine. And I think they find a few of these vines, and then they tie the vines to their feet, and they climb up a tower of 30 to 50 meters, and they jump off the tower. And they have to go down so far that their hair touches the ground, but their skull does not crack. And that is how they prove that now I'm a man. They have the courage to take responsibility for the community, for a family, for themselves, of course. And so it's natural that we want to honor our progression in life. And where there is not a rite of passage, traditionally we make them up all the time. I remember many years ago, about 20 years ago, my niece graduated from nursery school, and they made little paper graduation hats and had a graduation ceremony with little paper diplomas, because it's such a part of our nature to want to celebrate. And we find also in our Shastras, yes? In our Shastras, there are also examples of rites of passage. Can anyone think of an example from our Shastras? The birth of a baby, yes. When Mataji was singing so beautifully, Radha Madhava, Jai Radha Madhava, I was singing beautiful Shri Shri Radha Radhanath and remembering Krishna's rites of passage. There's a beautiful book written by Rupa Goswami. It's called the Shri Krishna Janma Tithi Vidhi. And essentially, it's a book, it's a manual of how to celebrate Janmashtami, how to celebrate Krishna's birthday. And in Mayapur, they follow this Shri Krishna Janma Tithi Vidhi on Janmashtami. Has anyone here been in Mayapur for Janmashtami? Mataji, you'll remember it's an all-day affair. And it's really beautiful because they perform every single one of Krishna's samskars starting from his birth. So you have two devotees dressed as Krishna and Yashoda. You have usually Jananivas Prabhu, our head pujari, dressed as Gargarishi. He puts a beard on to become Gargarishi. And they do the yagya that's done at the time of birth. And Nanda Maharaj offers the ghee and the different mantras and blessings to baby Krishna. The small deities, the Vijay Murti of Radha Madhava are brought down, and all of the samskars are performed with all the mantras and everything. So we get to watch Krishna getting his first grains, and then they actually cut his hair, and they pierce his ears, and everything is done, all the way up until the time when he leaves for Gurukul. And it's very, very touching because you have this beautiful boy who is with so much love. You see, he's being raised by his parents, and now he's a young man. And so he becomes a brahmachari, and he goes off to Gurukul. He goes to the family deity of Nrsingadev, and they worship Nrsingadev. And then Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda send him off into the world, and everyone cries, especially the mothers, to watch this beautiful boy going off to Sandipani Muni's ashram. So there are many beautiful examples in our Shastras. One of my favorites, does anyone know who this personality is? Narottam Das Thakur. Do you remember the story of one of his childhood samskars? Anyone? There's a beautiful story of Narottam Das Thakur receiving his first grains. There's a ceremony called Annaprashana when the baby eats grains for the first time. So Narottam's father was a king. So when they were doing the Annaprashana, which is the biggest of the childhood samskars, he had a very elaborate arrangement made, invited so many guests, so many exalted people, and then they had a beautiful yagya and chanted the mantras, and then when it came time to feed the baby Narottam wouldn't take the grains, he wouldn't open his mouth. And they were trying everything, they were trying to make him laugh, they were trying to distract him, but he would not accept the grains. There was one exalted Vaishnava in the audience, and he said, wait, has that sweet rice been offered to the deities? And his mother said, oh no, in making all the arrangements, I forgot, I didn't offer it. And he said, go and offer it to the deities. So they offered it, and they brought it back, and baby Narottam very happily accepted the sweet rice. He was very happy to take it. So when we look at Narottam Das Thakur's rite of passage, versus some of the other rites of passage, like the one in Vanuatu or the nursery school. What is the difference? Do you see any difference between the two? What's the difference between land diving and Narottam's rite of passage? What differentiates between the two? What's the stark difference? We see that in the other rites of passage, we're marking our progress, right? It's our transition. Narottam also was marking a transition. He was starting his journey of eating in this life, of eating prasadam. But it was centered around Krishna's pleasure. When we have a Vaishnava rite of passage, we're not just offering grains, we're offering prasadam that's been offered to Krishna for his pleasure. It's about keeping Krishna in the center. And we can see also something Mataji mentioned earlier, when we look more closely at this word samskar, rather than just rite of passage. Actually, the word samskar in Sanskrit has about 20 definitions. It is a very nuanced word. It means many things, among which are education, reformation. Even when you are fixing up a house, refurbishing a house, in Bengali, that is called samskar. Or to make something perfect, or consecration. But we'll look very particularly particularly today at one definition. And this is from the Veda base. This is the compilation of Srila Prabhupada's books. And there are samskaras described as one of the Vedic reformatory rituals performed one by one from the time of conception until death for purifying a human being. So the difference here is purification. Yes, Mataji, as you had mentioned. It is a rite of passage, it is a transition, but the purpose is purification. And why? What is the benefit of that purification? Why that purification? We'll read a little more about that from one of the purports of Srimad Bhagavatam. It's explained. The word anupurvyat in this verse indicates the system of samskars or purificatory rites. Generally, Shudras and those who do not follow the Vedic system are not attracted to such purificatory ceremonies. Therefore, they remain ignorant of spiritual life and envious of the bona fide spiritual master. Those whose character has been civilized by a systematic cleansing process give up the tendency to be argumentative and whimsical, and instead become submissive and eager to learn in the presence of a bona fide spiritual master. Isn't that wonderful? How nice would it be to become submissive and eager to receive the absolute truth? I think that's why we're all here, isn't it? Because we want to become able to receive the absolute truth, the instructions of the bona fide spiritual master, to receive all that mercy that's actually coming to us through Srila Prabhupada and his followers. It sounds very nice, but how do we actually accomplish it? How do we actually do that? How do we become purified? For me, one of the most wonderful things about the process of Krishna consciousness is that nothing is left to speculation. It's not that we have to come up with some way or we have to imagine something. Everything, from the moment we wake up, how to take a bath, how to worship, how to cook, how to eat, how to mix with each other, how to get married, how to have children, how to die. Everything is given to us. Everything is given systematically. And this is no different. In the case of these samskaras, in the case of this purificatory process, the instructions came to us through this personality, Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami, on the instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Gopal Bhatta Goswami was living in Vrindavan, as you all know, surely he was worshipping Sri Radha Raman in Vrindavan. And he was there in the association of Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. And once Lord Chaitanya wrote a letter to Rupa and Sanatan, and in that letter he sent an instruction for Gopal Bhatta Goswami. He said, you should write literatures to propagate Vaishnav culture and to enlighten and inspire the Vaishnavas. And to encourage Gopal Bhatta Goswami, he actually sent some very special gifts. He sent his own cloth, Maha cloth, and he sent his own writing table to Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Even today, if you go to Radharaman temple in Vrindavan, you can request to have darshan of that table. They still have that table there, Lord Chaitanya's own writing table that Gopal Bhatta Goswami used to compile his literatures. And one of the books that Gopal Bhatta Goswami wrote on the instructions of Lord Chaitanya was a book called Sat Kriya Sarad Deepika. And this book is a book which outlines these Vedic samskars. Essentially, it gives instructions on everything from marriage to conceiving a child, to the pregnancy, to the birth of that child, all the way through raising that child up until they're ready to be married, and the cycle continues. So this book is specifically for Grihastas. And Gopal Bhatta Goswami, he was raised in Srirangam. He was a Brahmin from birth. His family were priests, and so he had been trained in these ceremonies. He had this knowledge. But at that point in time, this knowledge had become very mundane. These ceremonies had become smartha ceremonies. Their purpose was simply material benefit. We will have, these samskars for the marriage so that the marriage is good and it lasts and everyone is happy. We will do some mantras for conception so the child is healthy, or in the pregnancy so that the delivery is good. But Gopal Bhatta Goswami went a step further with this. He spent a lot of time researching and studying. And by going through dozens and dozens of shastras, through the Vedas, the Puranas, the Itihasas, he went through
very, very scrutinizingly and found evidence that the purpose of these samskaras ultimately is to bring Krishna into the center of our lives and to offer ourselves to Krishna. And he explains this himself in the Mangalacharan. He says, for the devotees of Lord Govinda, inside or outside the Varnashram system, I will explain the process of performing Vedic samskars, taking evidences from the Vedas, Puranas, Manu, and other smritis, avoiding injunctions which call for worship of the devatas and pitris, as this would cause seva and nam aparad for the devotees. So he took the same ceremonies, but he let's say, evolved them, he perfected them so that they became an offering to Krishna. And as Gopal Bhatta Goswami says, this is a book for householders that are dedicated only to Lord Govinda. So if one wants to live grihastha life with Krishna in the center, this is the process by which to do it. We're all here because we do want to surrender to Krishna on some level or another. But how much of our life are we actually able to engage in that process? We wake up in the morning, we do offer our sadhana, maybe we do some puja, maybe we cook for the Lord, maybe we come to the temple and offer some service. As all of you are doing today, we leave our homes and come to have darshan of the Lord, to associate with others who are like-minded, to have kirtan, to hear. But then we walk out the door, or in the morning we finish our sadhana, and then what? We have to go and work, we have to carry out our household duties, we have to raise our children, we have to do so many things. But what Gopal Bhatta Goswami is giving us is a process by which all of that becomes an offering to Krishna. Everything we do, even pregnancy, even having a little baby, all of it becomes completely centered around Krishna. It becomes a beautiful offering of love at Krishna's feet. But like many of the Goswami's instructions, many of their books, really all of their books, were lost just 2-3 generations after they were here on this planet. And it was only when Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur came hundreds of years later that he rediscovered these literatures and he translated them. And Satkriya Saradipika was one of the books that he translated. And very interestingly, it was published by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is famous as a brahmachari and sannyasi. He was a very staunch renunciate, but he published this book for grihasthas. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was such a scholar and academic that I don't even know how to paraphrase his words to explain why he did this. So if you don't mind, I'm going to share directly his explanation. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami also wrote a book on the 10 samskaras, which is known as Satkriya Saradipika. Due to a lack of genuine Vaishnav grihasthas, for some time the Smartha ceremonies were accepted as Vaishnav. However, there is no doubt that the vain hopes and desires of the non-Vaishnavs will be uprooted by the republication of this book. Those whose hearts feel pain as if pierced by a lance by the spreading of Vaishnav Smriti will not be able to appreciate the topics of devotional service. Nonetheless, the customs of the society of pure Vaishnavs, being like the pole star, will shine forth brightly even in the darkness of the new moon. Now, this is the third printing, and we view this as an opportunity to propagate the Vaishnav faith and the rules and regulations and etiquette of devotional service. So, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is explaining that these processes, this life of a grihastha, these samskars, this is devotional service. And through this, we will be able to propagate Shri Shri Radha Radhanath Ki Jai. And by following these processes, by living as grihasthas, we will be able to propagate the culture of Vaishnavism. And it's very important here also that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur points out that for some time, even mundane ceremonies, even smartha ceremonies were taken to be Vaishnav. So it's very important for us to understand that, especially if we're coming from an Indian background, which I think everyone in this room is, we have so many cultures and traditions we grew up with. Right? We have family traditions, village traditions, religious traditions, and those are fine. They're nice. There's nothing wrong with them necessarily, but we need to know that those are traditions that are done for, cultural benefits or social benefits. But then we have those traditions that are given to us by our acharyas that are siddhanta, that are absolute truth, and that give us another level of benefit, that bring us closer to Krishna, that help us surrender our hearts, that help us keep Krishna as the focus of our lives. His Holiness Kadambakanana Swami tells a beautiful story in this regard. Probably you've heard this story, but I'll share it. So Kadambakanana Maharaj tells a story that once there was a young girl, and it came time for her to get married. So her parents saw, she's a very nice girl, very qualified. So they found a very capable young man who was a good match for her. They consulted an astrologer, and the match was very nice. The girl and the boy met, the families met, everything was very good. So they set an auspicious day and time for the marriage. The day came, all the arrangements had been made so nicely. There was a beautiful mandap, the bride was decorated beautifully, everything was ready. And the mother of the bride is there looking around. The groom's family is just approaching and she's looking around. Everything is just perfect. The priest has set everything up. It's all so nice. But then she sees a cat comes onto the mandap, onto the arena for the marriage ceremony. She's thinking, oh no, this isn't clean. And she's trying to shoo the cat away, and the cat won't go. It just sits down. And she's trying everything, but the cat's not going, and the groom's family is so close. They're just about to step in, and she's looking around. She doesn't know what to do, and she sees a basket. So she picks up the basket and puts it on top of the cat. No one notices the cat. The cat doesn't get out. The groom's family comes. The bride comes out. The ceremony goes beautifully. Everything is very nice. She goes home to her new family with the groom. And then in due course of time, she has a daughter of her own. After many years, the daughter grows up. She's a wonderful young girl. So now she goes and finds a husband for her daughter. A very nice match. They consult an astrologer and the families, and everything is good. They find an auspicious date and time. Everything is arranged nicely. The bride looks beautiful. The mandap is so nice. Everything is perfect. The groom's family is approaching. She's looking around. Everything is right. Yes, yes, nothing's missing. No, wait, stop. We forgot the cat in the basket. And suddenly the cat in the basket has become a part of the marriage ceremony. So this is how traditions develop. And there's nothing wrong with them. If you want to have a cat in the basket, by all means, go ahead. But we need to understand the benefit of that which is given by our acharyas. It serves a higher purpose. And when we are focused with an intention to follow the instructions of the acharyas, there are so many benefits. We receive unlimited, unimaginable benefit. And what are the benefits? What are the benefits of performing these samskaras? The first one we heard from the purport of Srimad Bhagavatam, yes, that we give up the tendency to become argumentative and whimsical, and instead become submissive and eager to learn in the presence of a bona fide spiritual master. Sometimes we think, we go in front of the deities and we go in front of Srila Prabhupada, please give me some mercy. But His Holiness Sachinandan Swami explains, it's not, you don't have to ask for mercy. The mercy is raining upon you. He said the problem is, the Lord is raining mercy on you, but you don't have the receptacle to hold it. Because your heart, which is the vessel to contain the mercy, has some holes. So this is a process by which we can plug up some of those holes and become ready to receive the mercy that is coming to us. Of course, anything the Goswamis give us, it has one ultimate purpose. What is that purpose? What does Rupa Goswami say? The purpose is to always remember Krishna and never forget Him. That's the first purpose of these samskars. As I mentioned, when we're going through our lives, we're carrying out our duties and responsibilities. How do we keep Krishna in the center? How do we keep our lives focused on Him? This is the first purpose of the samskars. And then there are so many more. For the family, first thing, life is focused and centered on Krishna. Whenever something wonderful happens in life, whenever a momentous occasion comes, what do? We worship the Lord. And we express gratitude at every step. Yes, I have achieved something. The child graduates, or, we are expecting a child, or we have a child. Yes, I have achieved something, but how have I achieved it? It's a gift. It's the mercy of the Lord. Whenever we perform a yajna, when we put the ghee into the fire, the grains into the fire, we say swaha, and then there's a mantra. After every mantra, we say, idam krishnaya idam namama, which means, this belongs to Krishna, it does not belong to me. When we offer the oblation to Radharani, idam radhikaya idam namama. This belongs to Radharani, it does not belong to me. Idam gurave idam namama. This belongs to my guru, it does not belong to me. It's a reminder when you're holding that child in your hands and you're thinking, wow, I created this. Yes, you did. Doesn't make you Lord Brahma, but yes, you've created something. But no, this belongs to Krishna, it does not belong to me. When you're getting married and you're thinking, wow, this is my wife, this is my husband, idam krishnaya idam namama. It's such a beautiful reminder that whatever I've achieved, whatever I've accomplished, this is Krishna's. And how fortunate and blessed I am that I can offer this back into Krishna's service. What a beautiful way to live life. Always keeping Krishna in the center, always offering gratitude. And we develop a service attitude. A child from their very birth, not just their birth, from their conception, learn that everything in life is an opportunity for service. How do we celebrate these samskars? We invite the Vaishnavas together. We invite our community together. We make a beautiful arrangement for them where they will feel happy and satisfied. And we serve them. We serve them prasad. We give them gifts. We give them a comfortable place to sit. And that is really how we earn blessings, is by serving. And a child learns from the beginning of life, when something wonderful happens in my life, what do? I offer service. I offer gratitude. That is a celebration. Not just that everyone should come together and honor me. Yes, of course, we do honor the person who has achieved something, but they are thinking, for me, this is an opportunity to offer my gratitude and offer service. It becomes ingrained in them from even before their birth, that this is real celebration, is to offer service to the Vaishnavas. And it establishes strong connections with the community. Usually a child, they're raised by a mother and father, and they feel a responsibility to that mother and father. They see, my mother and father sacrifice for me. They give me love, they give me affection, they give me everything I need. And so I have a responsibility to please them. A decent person will think, if someone is giving me, I have a responsibility to reciprocate. Now, a child who's raised in a community where everyone is coming together at the momentous occasions in their life, everyone in the community is watching them grow, is supporting them, is encouraging them. They have a burden of love much greater than just two parents. They have a whole community to whom they are responsible. I can tell you, as Mataji mentioned, having grown up in a community of devotees, I don't have a particular taste for, Krishna consciousness. I'm not someone who's very surrendered, but having received love from devotees, I always knew that I wanted to make them happy, because their love made me so happy. And even today, I think to myself, let me become someone that they will be happy with. So when a child grows up with so much affection and support in the community, they live their life in a way that they can reciprocate with it by offering themselves for the pleasure of that community and for all those that have loved and supported them. And from that come tremendous blessings, tremendous blessings. We have a tendency sometimes that when we meet some great soul, we say, please give me your blessings. I did that today, I'm sorry. I said to Mataji, please bless me. But what does that mean? What are sadhus? Are they like slot machines in a casino? You pull the lever and the blessings come out? It doesn't work like that. What is a blessing? A blessing is actually, it's a manifestation of love. It's a manifestation of affection that uncontrollably comes forth from the heart. So these samskars create an environment where we offer so much service and gratitude and appreciation to the Vaishnavas that the blessings come out. They just naturally pour forth. I remember at one samskar we had, one very senior devotee said to me, she said, in my 45 years of Krishna consciousness, this was the most remarkable experience, because the blessings were palpable in the air. You could feel the blessings. So when you bring devotees together and you please them, the blessings just come pouring out. And I'd like to share with you the benefit of these blessings, the power of these blessings. And since we're at Sri Sri Radha Radhanath Temple, I'd like to share with you an explanation of these blessings from their servant Radhanath Swami. And at our son's grain ceremony, Maharaj explained very beautifully what the benefit is of the blessings that we receive through these samskars. How to help a child to become Krishna conscious. For a human being to become Krishna conscious in this material world, it requires immense blessings, blessings of Vaishnavas, and especially the blessings of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which come through the Vaishnavas. So at every step, there are samskars, there are mantras, there are purificatory practices, and most of all, there is an intent to invoke the Lord through his names, through specific rituals for that purpose at that time, and to bring saintly people together on that occasion to offer their prayers and blessings for that child. And yes, those blessings give the strength to help that special being to overcome the obstacles of Maya and reach the lotus feet of Krishna. That is the power of the blessings of the Vaishnavas and the blessings of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And those blessings, again, are reciprocation. They're reciprocation of what we are offering. But it's just like if I were to offer you a gift. Mataji, if I brought you a gift, if I gave you a brown paper bag and said, this is a gift for you, you wouldn't expect a diamond ring inside. But if I gave you a beautiful velvet box with a gold clasp, you probably wouldn't expect a piece of burfi. Yes? We know from the packaging what's inside. So it's not that we just perform a ritual, that we chant one mantra and suddenly we become pure and everyone becomes pleased. These samskaras are like the packaging through which we offer our consciousness. We offer the desire, the aspiration of our heart, all that we are cultivating in our hearts, the prayers, the gratitude, the hopes. We offer those to Krishna. The Acharyas have given us a beautiful package that is pleasing to Krishna. That is the appropriate package by which we can offer that which is in our hearts to the Lord and to the Vaishnavas. And these blessings are not just for the individual. They're not just for the family. They're actually for the whole community. And first of all, the rites of passage are a natural part of every society. If we're not performing samskars that are centered around Krishna, we'll be doing them in a different way. If we're not bringing the Vaishnavas together, we'll be bringing somebody together. We'll still get together and celebrate. It's just natural. It's just a part of human nature. And let's face it, it's a lot of fun. Everyone likes to get dressed up and have a little celebration. We all like to do it, and Krishna consciousness is joyful, and it's fun. And this is a way to have a lot of fun with it, which also gives us an opportunity to express our gratitude to Krishna and to serve the Vaishnavas and have a really good time doing it. And it creates deep bonds centered around Krishna. When we come together in this way, there are extraordinary bonds created. When I reflect back on the samskars we've had as a family, I'm still so deeply touched. Our son is 15 now, but if I think back to his grain ceremony 15 years ago, as I mentioned, one of the parts of the samskars is that you give gifts. It can be anything according to your means. And so I was thinking I'd like to give a nice gift to all the devotees that attend. But we all know, sometimes we go to a wedding or to a Janmashtami or some other function, and then you get gifts, and then you come home and you think, wow, this is so nice. What should I do with it now? Not really sure what to do with it. So I thought, I don't want to burden anybody, so we should have a consumable gift. We should have some very nice prasad. So I wanted to get some beautiful boxes made of Krishna taking prasadam on them, and then have nice prasadam inside, some nice sweets. And in Mayapur, if you've ever had, I might have to change this, because I was going to say, if you've ever had the Mangal sweets in Mayapur, they're the best. But I had Mangal sweets here at Sri Sri Radha Radhanath Mandir this morning, and I'll say they're as good as the sweets here. Because they were really works of art. I had to take photos and send them to my family because they're so beautiful. But we have a devotee in Mayapur, Prem Nitai Prabhu, who makes really beautiful sweets. I mean, they are just such extraordinary offerings. He takes sandesh of different flavors and colors and layers them one on top of another and rolls them up and slices them so you have swirls of different flavors of sandesh. Then he decorates the top and does amazing things, beautiful burfis, so many things. And so I asked Prem Nitai Prabhu, I said, Prabhu, do you know anyone who makes nice sweets that we could give as gifts? And he said, excuse me? You're asking me if I know someone who makes nice sweets? I make nice sweets. I said, Prabhu, you cook for the Lord. I mean, someone who makes nice sweets that we can, we need hundreds of them for our guests. And he said, well, I can make them. And I said, no. We have so many guests and we need so many sweets. You're just cooking for the deities. We can't ask you to do that for us. He said, what are you talking about? I will make the sweets. And I said, no, Prabhu, I really can't. We can't do that. You're Krishna's servant. You're Madhava's servant. You can't do that for us. And he said, I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for Raj Mohan. You don't tell me what to do. This is between us. And he just walked away. And I was thinking, oh no, what's going to happen? And then I thought, okay, he wouldn't listen. He would not listen to me. So we left it. And then the day of the Annaprashna came. It was early in the morning. The Muhurta was for like 6:30 in the morning. So around 5:30 in the morning, brahmacharis started arriving with trays and trays and trays of beautiful sweets. And then these ladies, so we had invited these ladies, but I didn't know them particularly well at the time. They were just a part of our community. And I remember these ladies and children, they all came and started packing boxes of sweets. And it's such a beautiful memory. I can still see the sun just rising through the fog in Mayapur, and everyone sitting and packing these beautiful, brahmacharis are bringing trays, and the ladies and children are packing. And it was just such a sweet, warm memory that even today it just brings tears to my eyes when I think of it. And I have such affection for those devotees still. And then once the guests arrived, ceremony started, and I noticed that Prem Nitai Prabhu, the sweet maker, he wasn't there. So I asked one of the brahmacharis, where is Prem Nitai Prabhu? He didn't come. He said, of course he didn't come. He's sleeping. And it's like, why is he sleeping at 6:30 in the morning? He said, well, he's been in the kitchen for 36 hours making sweets. 36 hours. And even today, when I think of that, my heart just fills with so much gratitude. And some years later, Prem Nitai Prabhu got married, and then we had the ceremony. We were so happy to be able to do all the samskaras, help him to do all the samskaras for his children. Part of our course is a practical at the end, where the students offer something back to the community. They take all the knowledge that they've learned, and they organize a samskar for a member of the community. So one of them that we did was the Annaprashna for Prem Nitai Prabhu's son, which was so special to be able to offer that in reciprocation. So in this way, these ceremonies create beautiful bonds that just last for lifetimes. And those bonds are centered around Krishna, they're centered around service, and they're centered around giving love and support to each other. And also, we create a social revolution when we start developing those bonds in our community. When we start establishing a foundation of families that are healthy, that are strong, that are centered around Krishna, that are centered around affection for Krishna, for each other, and for the wider community. Most of the world, they're not interested in renunciation. And hardly anyone is even interested in love of God. But everyone wants to know how to have a good family. Everyone wants to know how to have good children. I was looking in the bookstore at the airport yesterday while we were waiting. All the books are about these things. Self-help books, right? How to have good relationships, how to raise your children well. But we have all of this knowledge. We have the philosophy. If we can put it into practice, imagine how we could revolutionize society if people were looking to us as the guiding light of how to have good families and good children. Everyone wants that. Everyone wants that. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says what? This is how we propagate the culture of devotional service, is by grihastas practicing this culture. That is when the world will turn around and take notice and say, how do I get that? I want that. How do I get that? What's missing? Why don't they have it? Why are relationships not successful? Why are families not successful? Because Krishna is missing. And as long as we're not centered around that ultimate reservoir of love, what love do we have to give to anyone or to receive from anyone? It's just selfish. There is no love if Krishna isn't there. It's only selfish. So we can revolutionize society when we start focusing on having families and communities that are centered around Krishna and centered around taking care of each other and being committed to our communities and our families. And it allows for loving exchanges among devotees in our own smaller communities. Rupa Goswami has mentioned these loving exchanges, offering gifts, receiving gifts, revealing one's mind to someone. These are the most intimate moments of life. Getting married, raising your children going through their different steps of life. Inviting people into that to take part in those most intimate moments of your life. Or going and taking part in that for someone else. When you go to a marriage ceremony, you're not a guest. You're a witness. Our Shastras say, you come as a witness. What does that mean? It means you have a responsibility to those vows. You are witnessing the vows those two people are taking in front of Krishna. Now you have also made a commitment. You've made a commitment to help them when they waver in those vows. When they struggle in those vows, then we as a community are there for them. When that child struggles, we've been watching them go through all this progression of life. Now we are there for them. We support them. We encourage them. That is revealing one's mind in confidence. That is allowing others to reveal their heart in confidence. And accepting prasadam, offering prasadam. This is actually such an intimate thing. We take it lightly sometimes, but who usually cooks us? Who usually feeds us? Our mothers, right? It's such an intimate thing. It's our mothers who say, sit down. They put the prasad on our plates, eat enough. You didn't have that, have some more of that. It's our mothers who do that for us. How beautiful to be able to offer that intimate exchange to someone else, to be able to feed them, to be able to accept someone else loving us in that way. When someone is serving prasadam, to really reflect, wow, this person is feeding me like my mother did. How intimate and beautiful and wonderful. And Srila Prabhupada explains very, very beautifully in his purport to this verse, Nectar of Instruction, verse 4, he explains the importance of these exchanges. Srila Prabhupada says, even in ordinary social activities, these 6 types of dealings between two loving friends are absolutely necessary. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness has been established to facilitate these 6 kinds of loving exchanges between devotees. So Prabhupada is saying that's why he's established this society. If you look at the 7 purposes of ISKCON that Srila Prabhupada has written, I think every single one, if not every single one, practically every single one, mentions bringing people together. The books, to bring people together to receive knowledge, to bring people together for education, farm communities, to bring people together, temples, to bring people together. Prabhupada said, I put this word society in there because the purpose is for people to come together. That is the purpose. So he's saying the International Society for Krishna Consciousness has been established to facilitate these 6 kinds of loving exchanges between devotees. This society was started single-handedly. Prabhupada himself used to cook prasad for all the devotees. In the beginning, he had no money. He'd have 1 apple, and he'd cut it into as many slices as people came and give each person 1 slice. If you read in his diaries from that time, slowly he started getting 50-cent donation, $1 donation. He would use that to buy rice, dal, vegetables, cook for everyone. And the devotees who were there in the early days, once we were at Matchless Gifts in New York City, 26 2nd Avenue, the first center Srila Prabhupada started, and many of the devotees from the early days were there. And they were saying how Srila Prabhupada would cook. Most of them were young men, and Prabhupada would make chapatis. And they said, we'd each eat 10 chapatis. And there were only 5 or 6 of them coming, but that's 50, 60 chapatis for a 70-year-old man to make. And they said, we didn't even think about it. We never even thought of helping. Prabhupada would cook everything. He would serve all the prasad. Then he would clean up. He would wash all the pots, wash all the plates. He would do everything himself. And it never even occurred to them that they should help because they were so young. But Prabhupada did that. Why? To facilitate the opportunity for all of us to come closer to Krishna, to come closer to each other. And he's saying this society was started single-handedly. But because people are coming forward and dealing with the give and take policy, the society is now expanding all over the world. The life of the Krishna conscious society is nourished by these 6 types of loving exchange among the members. Therefore, people must be given the chance to associate with the devotees of ISKCON, because simply by reciprocating in the 6 ways mentioned above, an ordinary man can fully revive his dormant Krishna consciousness. It's powerful. We take it as something very mundane sometimes, but it's very, very powerful. And these samskaras are an opportunity to do this in a systematic way, with Krishna in the center. We're here in South Africa, and it reminds me of a beautiful experience that I had through these samskaras of how Krishna facilitates these loving exchanges. When our daughter, who is now 9 years old, was having her first grains, one of our honored guests was His Holiness Shivaram Swami. And Shivaram Swami has beautiful deities of Sri Sri Radha Damodar, who were the original deities of Swarup Damodar Goswami, the associate of Lord Chaitanya. And so we invited Marge to come and to bring Radha Damodar. And Marge said, oh, I don't ever take them out, because they're quite sacred and special. And we said, anyway, Marge, we took in a velvet box, we took a beautiful invitation for Radha Damodar and offered it to them. Said, that's up to you, Marge, but we're offering the invitation. And then Maharaj said, he said, somehow I see that Radha Damodar are determined to come, so we will come. And I thought, wow, this is very special. I want to offer them something very nice. And so I thought to myself, I'd like to offer them some beautiful jewelry. We know some devotees who have a ruby mine, and I thought I'll ask them if I can get some small rubies that Maharaj can make into jewelry. I was thinking some crowns for them. And so I called that devotee, but they were in the middle of someone in the family leaving their body, so it was not appropriate to ask. So then I started trying other ways. In Mayapur, we didn't really have jewelry shops, so I was going online and trying different people here and there. Nothing was working out, and I felt so bad, and it was like the day before the ceremony, and still nothing had worked out. And I thought, this is so embarrassing. I have nothing nice to offer to Radha Damodar, and we've invited them. And I thought, well, I'll just have to give some dakshina and offer them a promise that the next time we see them, I will offer them something else, some other gift. So the ceremony started. Shivaram Maharaj was there, and another one of our guests was His Holiness Bhaktisharu Swami. So Bhaktisharu Maharaj arrived, and we greeted Maharaj, and he gave some words of affection to the baby. And then Maharaj started to walk to the stage. And then he turned around and came back. And he said, wait, I forgot. I have something for Krishna Jivani. And he took something out of his pocket and he put it in her hand. And so I was kind of holding it because she was just barely 5 months old. She couldn't really hold. And it was a Krugran coin, a gold coin, solid gold coin. And I said, Maharaj, what is this? We can't accept this. He said, I'm not giving it to you anyway. I'm giving it to Krishna Jivani. I said, no, Maharaj, you're a sannyasi. This is not appropriate. As grihasthas, our duty is to give to sannyasis. We can't take. He said, I'm not here as a sannyasi. I'm here as a grandfather, so I have to give a gift to my granddaughter. I said, no, Maharaj, I'm really sorry. Don't want to offend you, but we can't accept this. And he said, I'll be honest. He said, just as I was coming here, a disciple from South Africa came, and he just handed me this. And I thought, what is this? What should I do with this gold? Should I give it to the deities, or what do I do with it? He said, then I thought maybe Krishna sent it for Krishna Jivani because I'm on my way to her Annaprashana. So I thought I'll give it to her. And he said, you have to take it. You can't say no. And he just walked to the stage. And I was looking at it, and I was a little bewildered by the whole exchange. And then suddenly I looked up at Radha Damodar. And I thought, wow, what a bad servant I am. Krishna had to make so many elaborate, send someone from South Africa to bring the gold to give to Bhakticharan Maharaj, to give to Krishna Jivani, so that we could offer it back to him. So we could offer something, we were able to offer something nice to Radha Damodar, but Krishna facilitated this whole beautiful exchange. And actually it was really amazing, because then Shivaram Maharaj said, I'll send you a photo of what we do with this for Radha Damodar. And he sent us a photo about a month later, and you won't believe what he had made. Ruby crowns. Krishna has a sense of humor. But these beautiful exchanges, these beautiful opportunities to express our love and affection for each other. And as Srila Prabhupada says, by really
by engaging with each other in that way, we can revive our Krishna consciousness. And when we have strong, loving communities, we can bring others in and include them in those exchanges and help them to revive their Krishna consciousness, all by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. This was a very brief introduction to, like I said, it's normally 3 weeks, but I'm so grateful for your time and your attention and the opportunity to be here in your association. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If anyone, I don't know if we have time, but if anyone would like to share anything, if you have any feedback or any questions, I think we have 3-4 minutes. No? Okay. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for such a beautiful and dynamic and enlightening class. Thank you again. I think Mataji deserves another round of applause for that warm class. Devotees, we have a few announcements and some information to share. So we all know that His Holiness Swayam Bhagavan Keshav Swami Maharaj is here with us in South Africa, and he'll be here in Durban on Wednesday. So on Wednesday there will be a special program that will be at 7 p.m. and the Maharaj's topic for that day is desire management. Then on Thursday, the 16th of May, is the appearance day of Srimati Sita Devi, the consort of Lord Ram, and also the appearance anniversary of Srimati Janava Devi, who is the consort of Lord Nityananda. Then on Thursday and Friday mornings, 7:30 a.m., there will be the class by His Holiness Keshav Swami Maharaj, and the topic is leadership, the Prithu principle, for both days, with 2 different subtopics. So the subtopic for the Thursday class is becoming a visionary, and the subtopic for the Friday's class is inclusive communities. Then on Saturday, the 18th of May, Maharaj will be at New Jagannath Puri doing a youth program, and that will be at midday. On Sunday, the 19th, Maharaj will be at New Jagannath Puri again, doing the midday program there. Then on Sunday evening, Maharaj will be here at Sri Sri Radha Radhana Temple for a seminar. Maharaj will be conducting a seminar, and the title of this is Spiritual Warrior, Tools for the Inner Battle. So this is from 4 to 7 p.m. And for this, we need to register. The link is shared on our social media platforms. So you register, and the cost is 100 Rand, which includes supper. But if you completed your soul quest during Ratha Yatra, then you still register, then you present your completed soul quest card at the seminar, and you gain free entry. Also, there is a 50% discount for students and pensioners. This seminar is hosted by the School of Bhakti, Durban. Then on the 22nd of May is Sri Nrsimha Chaturdashi, the appearance day of Lord Nrsimhadev. So there's 2 opportunities for you to be actively involved in this program. One is the Mahayagya, which is at 3:30 p.m., and booking is essential per person for this yagya. Then there is the Maha Abhishek, which takes place at 5:30. So you are invited to sponsor towards this Abhishek. There's further details about both these options on our social media platforms. Shri Shri Radha Radhanath Ki Jai. Then devotees, today's Sunday Love Feast Prasadam has been prepared by the Reservoir Hills Namahata, which is led by His Grace Anantadev Prabhu. So a big thank you to Anantadev Prabhu and his team for today's wonderful prasadam, and also a special Mother's Day prasadam. On the topic of prasadam, our prasadam coupon system will be in effect from Sunday the 26th of May. Just to reiterate what is the purpose of our prasadam coupon system, it has been inspired by care and concern for our devotees and to reciprocate your eagerness to have the full Sunday Love Feast experience, which includes the Guru Puja, the Kirtan, the philosophical discussion, which is the class, the Arti, the Kirtan, and then the Prasadam. So devotees will receive one coupon, And this will be taking place just before the class starts. So when devotees are seated before the class starts, we will all receive our coupons. If you miss, let's say I missed the coupon at that point, what happens to you then? You will still receive prasadam. So I will still receive it, but those with the coupon will be in a priority queue, and I will receive mine after everybody who has a coupon. So devotees, thank you for attending today's Sunday Love Feast program. A warm, happy Mother's Day to all our mothers once again, and to our mother figures, and to all our senior Matajis. A happy Mother's Day and a blessed day to you all. And a blissful week to all of you, and thank you for attending. We'll continue now to observe Aarti and Kirtan. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Shri Shri Radha Radhanath ki. Namo Vishnu Padhaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschitya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadada Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Bringha Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bola bola, Hari Bol. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, bola bola, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One more. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Come. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. One more. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Radha Ramana Haribo, Jai Radha Ramana Haribo, Jai. Jai Radha Ramana Haribo, Jai Radha Ramana Haribo. Jai Radha Ramana Haribo, Jai Radha Ramana Haribo, Jai Radha. Jai Radha Ramana Haribo, Jai Radha Ramana Haribo. Jai Radha Ramana Haribo, Jai Radha Ramana Haribo. Open. Haribo, 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 Hari. Haribo, Haribo, Hari. Haribol, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Hari Bo, 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 Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe. Radhe 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 Jaya Radha Radhanath Radha Radhanath Radhe Jaya Radhe Sham Radhe Sham Radhe Sham Jaya Radhe Sham Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Nittai Gora Haribo 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 Gora Haribo Jai Gora Haribo, 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 Gora Haribo. Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Gurudev. Namaste Narasingaya Praladhaladadayine Hiranyakashipo Vakshaha Shilatankana Kalahe Hiton Shingo Paraton Shingo Yato Yato Yamitaton Shingo Bahin Shingo Ridhayen Shingo Narashinga Madhim Saranam Prapadhe Narashinga Madhim Saranam Prapadhe. One more. Narashinga Madhim Saranam Prapadhe. Tabakara Kamala Bhare Nakam Adbhuta Shinga Dalita Hiranyakashipu Dana Bringha Kesavadita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Kesavadita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadish, Jaya Jagadish, Jaya Jagadish Hare. Jaya Jagadish Hare. Jaya Jagadish, Jaya Jagadish, Jaya Jagadish Hare. Jaya Jagadish, Jaya Jagadish, Jaya Jagadish Hare. Jaya Jagadish Hare. Jaya Nishingadev, 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 Jaya Nishingadev. Jaya Lakshmi Nishinga, Lakshmi Nishinga, Lakshmi Nishinga, Jaya Lakshmi Nishinga. Jaya Prahlad Nishinga, Prahlad Nishinga, Prahlad Nishinga, Jaya Prahlad Nishinga. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Nittai Gaura Haribo, 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 Gaura Haribo. Nittai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nittai Gaura Haribo. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Acharya Sotara Sata Shishavat Abhay Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Dabacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Sako Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinatha Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Shri Navadvip Dham Ki Jai Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Shri Ganga Mai Ki Jai Jabudbai Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Tulasi Devi Ki Jai Shama Veda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Radhanath Ki Jai Shri Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ki Jai Hare Krishna Mahamantra Ki Jai Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai Ishkad Father Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.